gentlemen, football is back, man. Where's y'all head at right now? How y'all feeling? Anton Benson. What up, Anton?
Let's go.
And you see this guy, 85's personal agent and his #1 fan. All right, Pro Crew Sports Talk, the host, Mr. Alex Stevens. Alex, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, brother? I'm so happy today.
Here comes the Hail Mary with the game on the line, and the ball's caught.
What up, people? Our Washington fans. It is November 3rd after this win of the New York Giants. It's your boy, Anton Benton, aka Mr. Awesome Artisans, aka Mr. Moral Support. Here we are, my boy, Mr. Alex. Let them know who you are, Alex.
Yes, sir. Bro Crew Sports Talk, man. Feels good, man. We 7-2, baby. Hail, baby, hail.
It's just dirt off our shoulders to see.
Yes,
We
sir.
also got my boy here, Sean Spencer. Let them know who you are.
What up? Let's go.
All right, now we got a whole discussion to talk about this week, right? We got, such a good steam of big-headedness we got going on right now. And just everybody just wants to knock us down. I know it. Dallas fans want to just tell us we having it easy. I mean, we gonna hear it all week. We just gonna hear it. So, how's y'all feeling? I mean, I'm excited, period. I didn't think it was going to be a guaranteed win because it was close last time. But here we are, 7-2.
Mm-hmm.
We was never going to think this proud of our team, just 2 losses. So here we come to it. Alex, where's your head out after hearing this win?
Yeah, man. Feels good, man. Definitely feels good. I think this is the first time since we've been 7-2 since 1996, I think. But man, it's incredible, man. It feels real good, man. I'm glad that we needed this win though. This was a division game, and it was gonna be a tough one. I thought it was gonna be a blowout. I did. I know people said it was gonna be a close one, but it was definitely a good game, man. Definitely great that we got the W.
Dude, I'm so proud of my team right now. We can't. It's 2-0 in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
How can we not start out something so not easy? Just it feels good. Sorry, the vibe of feeling good of seeing that game and knowing our team is this forward progress this into the season. It's amazing. Sean, tell me how you feel with me.
It feels great, man. 2-0 in the division. Come on now. And we beat the Giants. So Thanksgiving is going to be beautiful this year. When I go to see my family in New York. Oh, absolutely. And I want to shout out my brother Daryl, who's got on the back of his old truck, he had the picture of LT before he broke Joe Theismann's leg. How you like that now, Daryl? We swept Joe. Yeah, let's go.
Ooh, you gonna let Daryl? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. He's just gonna have to eat it this time. So we go into this, into this conversation about New York, and here we are with another close game. I'm sorry to nitpick about this, but here we are. Alex, we talked about this earlier. Too many field goals, not enough touchdowns.
Right.
Where's your head at with that?
Yeah, man. I think that we need to, fix that. We need to work on that, especially on third down in the red zone. I think that we're still a little bit struggling with that. We're still a high-powered offense. You know what I mean? Especially with the no huddle and stuff like that. You know what I mean? It will come with time. Again, we're still a young team. And this is the beginning. You know what I mean? So, but we definitely need to finish that. We definitely need to finish that in the red zone, man. Because if you really think about it, I mean, that was 3 times. Our kicker kicked the field goal, and we should have been up there in the 30s. You know what I mean? So, it is what it is, though, man. I'm glad that we got the win, man. Now, like you said with Sean, man, now we can talk about the Giants. We can talk about them like, hey, we swept y'all. You know what I mean? I was glad that when we scored on what's the dude's name, Banks. So glad, because last year he was like F Washington. So now F you on that one right there. Now.
I mean, it was it was a lot of talk before this game to make sure that, okay, if Washington can't beat them, it's going to be a sad, oh, we're just trifling team. But there was a puzzling amount of times in this game, flags getting thrown on our first down or in the red zone, and it didn't help. It really didn't help. And I'm with you. I hate getting down there all the way to the 7, to the 5, to the 3, and then have to kick a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
Like that close. And you give them the morale boost that their offense can make that 7 points, So with that, like, it kept us on edge. The defense, had to try and step up for what the offense couldn't really do. And, I don't knock Kingsbury. He should, like I said, in our last little talk, we should have had a foot to the floor, first down, second down. We should have been going for that end zone. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. We need to go for that shot. But I feel, our first half did that. It just felt like he stopped doing it the second half. And I think that's where it slowed down for us. We were trying to take more time of the possession of the ball in the second half, not give Daniel Jones the hot hand,
Right.
He started catching on it, in that third quarter with Neighbors. And, we were all talking, man, Neighbors isn't a problem. Sean, I know you saw it when we were talking about, Neighbors wasn't going to be an issue, but Daniel Jones started catching a hot hand. In that sequence, where is Kingsbury, helping our team by kind of cooling off and not really going for it? Like I'm saying, in our way of we've played New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Kingsbury kind of cooled down, or you think it was just the efficiency of plays that we just couldn't get through in the second half?
Yeah. No. I mean, when we jumped out to that lead, I can definitely see maybe that they had slowed it down. I mean, we knew we were coming into this game without Brian Robinson, and I think that played a factor. I mean, Eckler was able to do some things on the ground, and that was definitely great and everything. But I don't think it wasn't until late that Rodriguez started getting in there and he started running. He started doing his thing. I think the fact that we didn't have the run game was kind of we proved that we tend to struggle a little bit with that. But to your point, we had 5 penalties. That made us 3 and 6 in the red zone. There was a number of times where we were in the red zone for 3rd and 1, and we should have just been able to get the first more easily. And I mean, you could say that, okay, we didn't have B-Rob, but at the same time, it's like that O-line needs to dominate, man. Remember, we had that one play deep to, I think, De'Ami Brown or somebody, and they got called back for holding. You know what I mean? So, I mean, those are discipline errors. Those are bonehead moves, and we got to be able to overcome that. But it was a lot better this game in the red zone than it was last game.
Right. And I do bring up a good point. With B-Rob last week, we had over 200 yards rushing, and we didn't even get over 149 this time, and we touched the ball 38 times. New York had 164, and they touched it 31. So at that point, we're just, having B-Rob is such a detriment that we get over 200 yards. And having, Chris Rodriguez still there, it gave us a little bit of benefit. He was still able to make that dent. Even though next man up, he's still able to put potential yards in, 3 or 4 here, 5, 6 here, and get us to a first down. And like I said, I think just that, like you said, not having B-Rob to give that first down run play and make it known that we are a threat there, I think, it didn't give us enough opportunity to use that to our advantage, having everybody on the field. And in the second half, you could just see it. Eckler was kind of hurt. He had his holding his leg or something in the second quarter, but it is what it is. Do you think? So I asked this question to you fellas. Do you think what do you give a grade to our defense this time around? I give them probably a B- maybe. What'd you think, Alex?
Man, I give him a C minus, C, somewhere around there, man. Feel like we didn't stop the run very well. If they had Barkley, thank God they traded away Barkley, because if they had Barkley, Barkley would have killed us. But in the second half, we started stopping the run. I don't even know who these guys are. Apparently, they're trying to make a name for themselves. What was one guy for the Giants, Tracy, I think, or some dude. Yeah. So I mean, but yeah, man. I ain't heard nothing from him until today. You know what I mean? But I guess he has been doing something for him. But yeah, man. But other than that, man, I mean, even though Daniel Jones, I think did he have over 200 passing yards, or right around 200 or close to it?
174 passing yards for 2 TDs.
Right, and he ran one in. So I mean, yeah. I mean, the guys were getting open. Neighbors, I think, had 9 or 10 receptions. So I mean, you know, I will say that he was definitely feeling comfortable in the second half, a lot more comfortable. The tight end beat us over the middle a couple of times, man. I don't know what was. I don't know if that was miscommunication by the secondary, the safeties, or what that was. But other than that, man, I mean, our defense, we could do better. Just put it that way. I think D-line Fowler was definitely stepped up. Armstrong, he did have a sack, but he hit Daniels all in the face. So that that messed us up. And there still was holding penalties by Mike Sanders Steele and St. Juice. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it just, man, I mean, we had a pick, but it was called back because Sanders Steele, you know what I mean? So it is what it is, man. I think, there's definitely holes. Me and Sean, we talked about that. So there's definitely holes, but it's okay for right now. You know what I mean? Like, it's sustainable.
I don't know. I think I think all things considering, we were fine. Like, honestly, I think we did a lot better on the guy that we all talked about, Malik Neighbors. Last week he had 10 catches for 127 yards. This game he had 9 catches for 59. You know what I mean? I understand that we don't have the team that we want, but if we're talking about the game in particular, I don't think this is a problem. I think this is a divisional game. They got, last time they had 129 yards. This time they had 164 on the ground. That was something that was huge. But if you take away the 54 yards that Daniel Jones they have just over 100 yards. So I'd say that's a great day for a defense to hold a team to 100 yards. But I guess the problem is the fact that it is the Giants, and we look at their record, and we think that's indicative of the team that they are. But the Giants, for whatever it's worth, and I mean, y'all crucified me at the beginning of the year, but I said when we were looking at the schedule, for whatever it's worth, however good or bad our team is, whenever we play the Giants, it's a divisional game. Those games just hit differently. So I don't think this showed any more about our defense than we've already seen. But I do think this is cool because when the fact that our offense is not necessarily being able to get over the hump all the time, we can rely on our defense. You know what I mean? Like, if we were to have this argument last week, I would have been 100% on board because of the fact that if it wasn't for our defense, our defense, well, shoot, our defense almost gave. It wasn't for that Hail Mary, our defense would have given up the game. You know what I mean? You did good all the way through the game, but towards the end you gave it up. So I understand completely last week, but this week, our defense was actually the saving grace for us because our offense couldn't push it over the top. So our defense needed to be there for us. So look, the numbers can skew things any which way. Like that tight end, he had that one big touchdown catch, but other than that, even the announcers were kind of cracking on him like, man, good. He finally caught a pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely feel you on that. Chin, St. Juice, all of them stepped up. I mean, Sanders Steele, he had some really good plays. There was at least 4 or 5 where he batted them balls out. And I mean, Jones had to really throw it in there for
any of us. Had one play where they threw it to a guy that was kind of wide open and it was 1-on-1. Sanders Steele came up, bodied him, wrapped him up, complete tackle, brought him down a yard before the first down. Like, no help, no nothing. I mean, I guess it's how you look at
it. It's a good feeling when you can see like your boys are reading the plays like that. You only wish like to see like maybe Luvu or Wagner to maybe get up in there because they're getting through alignment. But when you see them, the secondary creep up, get through all them plays or get through all them players and still make a play behind the line and stuff like that, that's great understanding that your defense is actually working hard. Like they're actually paying attention to what plays like to stop. They stopped them third down on their own 15. And I mean, that was an automatic, like, whoa, they should have got 10 yards out of that. But somehow or another, we got the stop by Sanders still. And it was just like, oh, well, shit, we got the ball. Okay.
Yeah. I think our defense is you definitely see the improvement. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see. Right. But I just don't see us being a top 10, even top 15 defense with the secondary that we have. They are improving. Mike Sanders still is definitely improving. St. Juice is, man, I just, it's every week you see him getting burnt constantly. You know what I mean? And it's just, he's right there though. I mean, they're all tackling, they're all flying around. It's definitely improving, but they are what, like you said, Sean, they are what we thought they were.
Is it the goal to have the top 5 defense this year? Or
I would love that. That would love that.
Realistically, though, like in time, like with what we have, we are 7-2 with this defense.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't think we'll get more than the top. We'll get probably into top 10 at this point with our defense because we don't have any superstars.
With what we got right now, you think?
I think so. Just because
how we're playing.
What we're playing right now, I don't think so.
Is it sustainable for year and year and year? No, it's not.
No,
but
I mean,
whatever the scheme that they're working out right now, it's working.
I think right now, if we could say like any team, if you take out like a defensive player like we have those injuries, but still have the next person to still stand up and do what they need to do, Armstrong, Malik or Mathis, like getting them to step up into a spot they weren't a starter for, but still making dramatic change to the team. That is an effort that you don't see by the next man up with other teams. Like they're actually getting in there, making a name on a play, getting the tackles. They're not just looking like a winded player out there, letting everything go past them. Like, now we've got 3, long balls thrown at us because of that.
But I think that's the thing about Dan Quinn. And this is kind of the reason, and I know we're going to talk about the trade. This is kind of the reason why I don't think we're going to get some of these one-off superstars. It's because a lot of what we know, and I don't know if this was the reason why they brought him in, but this kind of makes sense. A lot of what we know about Dan Quinn is the guys that play for him love him. Alex, last week you said they would run through a wall for this guy. We've seen the guys that he brought in are the guys that are really making an impact. Dante Fowler, Jeremy Chin, Dorrance Armstrong, Tyler Biotish. I know Jeremy Chin didn't play for him. He was in Carolina, but the other 3 are Dallas guys. They've played for Noah Brown. You guys said it. And you guys were, hey, I'll say this right now. You guys were right. Noah Brown is far better than Jahan, or at least he's playing with it right now. But the fact that they're playing as well as they are these guys superstars? No, they're mid. But the fact that they play for their coach, and that's what we're seeing. These guys are doing enough for their head coach. So that's why I think he sticks with his guys. Wherever Dan Quinn goes, they go. And I think that's what we're seeing a lot of. Yo, we got some comments actually on Facebook. Johnny Dean said, LOL, are you guys complaining? And then Ab said, offense doesn't hum the same without B-Rob. And Ab said that Tracy, their running back, is like that. I think if I'm not mistaken, I got to go back and look. I think he was I don't think he went to LSU. He went somewhere in the SEC, I think.
I was about to no, but dude, all these guys that we have acquired to the team have not, derailed us. Like they've helped out, they've made a difference. And honestly, it could be the fact Dan Quinn is helping make a moral effort out of these boys to make them play for him. Like they're putting their bodies on the line to make this team better, to make this team have the effort, put these points on the board. Like when's the last time we ever thought our team was going to not put over 21 points on the board? Like this is a dramatic change of like thinking, damn, like every guess of our scores have been over almost 21 points. So to have that notion, it's like, damn, we've got a team that actually has confidence, and we have confidence to know that they're going to put points. but it's kind of like, all right, a scoring game at that point. Who can put up the most points? Who can kind of stop the other team from scoring the most? So at this,
Yeah, but with that, Anton, that's what I'm saying. The main reason, and I'm not saying all the games have been like that, but the majority of us winning 7 games is because of our offense. Now, defense, don't get me wrong, they have stepped up and they are improving for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, which we knew they were, but we've been hot. And the reason why we've been winning games is because of our offense. What are we? We're top 3. You know what I'm saying? So our offense is a big part of the reason why we
I need you to show me that sometime.
top 3, top 5,
No,
top 3, top 5.
It was 9th last year.
What is it?
Last week.
I can't hear you. What you say?
9th. We was 9th overall.
That's where we are in the ranking.
Regardless, well, that's what I've been hearing. But regardless,
yeah, far better than
right. So that's what I'm saying. And our defense is still in the 20s. So all I'm saying is the reason why we're winning 7 games.
We're 17th against the run.
That's against the run. What's our whole defense?
We're 20th against the pass. But even still, this is what we expected, though, right? And now look,
there's more holes on defense than there is on offense. There's holes on both parts, but there's more holes on defense.
Respectfully, I think both sides there are things that are being disguised.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think what we saw today is that, and what we've seen when B-Rob doesn't play, like Ab says, the offense doesn't hum. There's a hiccup. Now, we had the penalties, obviously. But at the same time, we have had that issue where now we've had 2 games, and I believe we're 3 of 12 in the red zone against the Giants. You know what I mean? So we can talk about defense, and I completely agree. Like, we've given up 18 to them, and we gave up 22 to them this week. And, our offense scored more points, absolutely. But think about the scores that y'all said for last week. I think what's upsetting is that they didn't put up that many points, and we felt like our team should be good enough to put up that many points on the Giants.
I mean, we should have been able to, period, just because we already know what effort our team is to get down the field. Just like we were talking about earlier, we had 3 or 4 actual touchdowns, but they're kicks. So that wipes, 12 points off the board that were 7 points instead of 3. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's a blowout that we're talking about. Like, this is improvement itself in the fact that we didn't have 7 field goals, right?
Oh,
that's an improvement known. All right, we did better. But this is where we ran, as from a coach's standpoint, you want to ramp it up. Like, all right, we should have really been this much further down on the points. Like, we should have had 42. There should have been no doubt we should have got those points. And that's where I think Alex is saying is like, yeah, we have those points on the board. We're just missing those opportunities. And, I'm going to give a hand clap to Noah Brown on this team. God dang it. Like, that boy, those 3 passes in the first quarter, making sure, our QB gets his feet set. He's seeing the defense, and you can see them letting Noah Brown free. That dude, he's a big receiver. I don't know how you not miss him, but he's catching the ball. Then McLaurin's catching the ball. Then Ertz is catching the ball, and it creates a good pattern when you have something like that. I think he caught 5 passes for 80-something yards. You can't have a better output from a guy that you just drafted or got over here 5 weeks ago. So I couldn't be more proud of him. So with that, let's talk about our trades, right? We've been having a good discussion about whether or not we should bring people in just because our team is meshing so well, right? And it's at this point we're seeing how good next man's up. Dan Quinn is kind of mediating how to work that, right? When one man goes down, another person has to play the role, period. And he's got to do it well. So when we think people that are out there on the trade block, we've got 24 hours for Washington to make that up. Now, I don't know who you think is still out there to choose. I got 2 people that I could think that are worth it, but I don't know how they would be over here, right? So on my 2, I have Adam Thielen because I know I've been hearing about this the last couple weeks about him. and now Marshawn Lattimore.
Mhm.
Trade talks about him, in which case he's trying to say no, but I think it's kind of like a Crosby. It's talk, it's not talk. It's talk, it's not talk. So,
Right.
do you have anybody out there that you think you might want to get at this point?
Yeah, bro. When you said Marcus Lattimore, I definitely had that. I definitely had Marcus Lattimore. The Saints are not doing too well. They were hot at the beginning, but I think he's been Marcus has been on trade talks even last year. I think there was rumors, and so that's definitely a good one. Zadarius Smith, the edge rusher, I think for the Browns. He plays for the Browns now, right? Yeah. He used to play for Baltimore and a couple other teams, but a veteran DN rush guy.
Right.
Definitely heard there was rumors saying this stuff about that. Him. Even Denzel Ward for the Browns, their number one corner.
That's another one, yeah.
That might be a little bit of a stretch, but and then J.C. Horn, another corner. So I mean, it's definitely rumored that we're interested in, like you said, with Adam Thielen, for some wide receiver help, secondary help, and some D-line help. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely rumored, and definitely a big possibility. I think we have until November 5th. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's definitely, man. Well, Sean, who you got? You got anybody, or you think Adam Peters is not gonna budge?
I like every one of those. I like every one of those guys. Honestly, I mean, I right now I'm just I trust them. I trust what they bring in,
Right.
whoever they brought in as far as right. So, but yeah, I like every one of those picks.
So you think we got our roster set? You think we're good with who we got right now?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I mean if we pick up those, that'd be great. That'd be great.
I mean, because like there's a few people still left, but not a whole lot, right?
Mhm.
Even like Mike Williams, I was looking at him from New York Jets. He was about 3 weeks back after Devontae Adams was thrown into that mix. I was like, oh, somebody wants out of that room. I know it, because somebody's gonna be mad about, oh, we got this guy in here now. And I think Mike had like 2 or 3 catches last week, so he's still trying out on the team and making it do. But I just feel in that wide receiver room, he's probably going to be the one asking to get out of there soon. So I don't know. Like, do I trust my wide receiver squad? Yes. Do I think we need to add somebody into it? Not really. Like, De'Ami Brown got his catch today. Zacchaeus got his catch today. Like, everybody's getting past the ball, but I just don't. Unless we get like another tight end that can catch the ball.
Is there any place that's playing so egregious that we need it like immediately? And I know, and I'm not talking about how good they are as a player. I'm saying in general, is there any position that's playing so egregious that we cannot help? We cannot take it. We've got to pick somebody up.
I mean, if I had to really nitpick, yes, our CB squad. Just the nature of just the one-on-one stuff. Like, you can see everybody's going to get beat, and it's just having a safety help that knows how to cover and not let the home runs hit. That's it. Like, if that safety knows how to run the blitz pressure and knows how to get in between people, like Chin was doing that today, but we needed to see that like 4 weeks ago.
That's kudos to our coaches for being able to coach this.
I mean, that is, and that's where I'm like, if we have somebody that's already there that knows how their eye on the field, like, that would matter so much more to help them and help the level of the secondary. Mm-hmm. I mean, Alex has been harping on this for the last 3 weeks, how bad the secondary has been getting burned or not being able. Like St. Juice today, that call against Malik Neighbors, 5 yards down, and he gets that defensive pass interference. Like, I was like, that was just a rough play. Like, let them play. There was no need for that flag. Right. But in the same sense, St. Juice should have kept his hands to himself. It would have probably been a better play. And that's just the nature of, like, we need not to have that happen on a third down when they are trying we need to stop. Right. So it's those circumstances that we are getting caught in like the pass interference on the third down. We're getting burned for 10 yards on the third down. We need to not have that happen to be a better defense.
Mhm.
So with that being said, we've talked about the trades enough, and we're going to go to commercial right after this. All right, welcome back, ladies and gents. It is your Washington Roundtable football, or Washington Football Roundtable, excuse me. So let's get back into it. We are talking into next week with Washington against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, I'm gonna try and get some insight from my sister, as she's a Steelers fan herself.
Nice.
And we are going to try and get another guest on this show as well next week. So let's talk our trash now, right? We got a good team going into this. We don't know what quarterback they're going to put into their game. What should we expect on a team this good, this caliber? Like, they're still playing right now, if I'm not mistaken, or they just played earlier.
I'll check.
Because I think they're 6-2 as well, right?
I think they're up there, yeah.
So we have the same record as them, and we go into this week like, okay, do we just lay it easy?
No. Hey, Sean, my bad, Anton. They got to buy. They got a bye week.
Okay, so they got to buy this week. Good. So we go into this, thinking, all right, we either go all in or we go in 80%. How do you take this game? Myself, I feel it's gonna be a tough passing game, just because we know their defense, they're blitzing, they're gonna stop a lot of our run game. How do you feel you can get away with that, Sean?
Well, having B-Rob healthy is number one. Honestly, I think it's gonna have to be that up tempo, keeping them kind of off kilter. I think we're going to have to put time into the run to suck that defense in, suck that secondary in, because if there is a weakness, I know they got Minkah Fitzpatrick, and I know Joey Porter Jr. is pretty legit, you know what I mean? But I think that's their weakness if we look at their whole defense. So for me, I honestly, we need to establish that run, because what's going to happen is their defense is full of aggressors. They impose their will. You know what I mean? Our O-line has got to dominate the O-line and impose their will on these guys. And we're going to have to run right down their throats so that they're focused, putting 8 in the box right over top of their heads.
You right about that. Alex, what you got to input on this?
Yeah, definitely with the run. I think I'm super excited that we are at home, so we got home field advantage. But yeah, man, we definitely have to continue with the run. With B-Rob coming back, man, it's definitely an improvement, man. But I mean, this could be a tough game like the Bears. Like when we played the Bears, and how our offense wasn't, clicking, you know what I mean? Especially in the fourth quarter, and how our defense got tired, and you know what I mean? And the Bears had a chance to win that game, but thank God for that Hail Mary. That was incredible. But yeah, I mean, you saw how our offense played against a top 5, ain't Pittsburgh top 5, right? I think their defense. So
yeah,
sure.
Yeah, number one, right?
I'll say this, like Alex, you were talking about how we needed defenses for our QB1 to really have that pressure. I think this is another team where he's really not going to have to like feel nervous, calm down back there, and understand the split pressure he's going to take on this week, because his ribs are really going to hurt from how many hits he's probably going to take. And it's going to be key for B-Rob to be in to take some of that pressure off, get them runs out, and help break up some of that secondary. And, we've got a lot of weapons. We got a lot of good weapons to be used. So, our wide receiver squad is going to have to step up. He's probably going to have to do a lot more check down plays, I think, just with how much they're ramping up, their defense towards us. Like, they're not going to let some young quarterback do all this running around on them. I guarantee that.
Mm-hmm.
So they're going to find some good way somehow to stop Daniels from getting on the edge and only, either 5 yards in the middle and get crushed, let him sacrifice his ribs. So, with that, like, we have a good QB. Do we trust him in this defense that he's going to, not have any interceptions, or feel like he's going to have a 300-yard game, throwing down the field? Do you think he's going to have a low? Do you think he's going to have a low passing game or a high passing game?
Yeah, in this game, man. I think this game is it's going to be it's going to be a tough one. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to be a tough one. They got a real good defense. But like I said, if we do what we do with the run, you know what I'm saying? We have to get the run game. Austin Eckler, he played good today. We definitely need that out of Austin Eckler, and Brian Robinson, for sure. Needs to step up to the plate, to make it easier on Daniels for sure. But I think this is going to be Mike Tomlin not going to play around. Mike Tomlin, he's going to test this rookie for sure. He's going. I'm sure he's going to blitz him and get after him. You know what I mean, and really see what Daniels is really all about. So I mean, we definitely need to be focused in this game, and defense for sure needs to step up. In this game and help as much as they can for our offense. You know what I mean? So. So I think this is definitely going to be a test. It's going to be a hard one. I don't think it's going to be an easy one. But wait to see what happens.
I think Daniels is going to have to definitely have his veterans in that huddle with him. After watching him today, they were helping him out, get the pace up. And I think that's a good notice when you're like, veterans know when to hurry up or, when to slow down the game. It's like, okay, they're helping the huddle, helping everybody else feel better about, all right, the speed. So, like, this game, I think, the Steelers, we're going to definitely need to keep it out of their hands. So as many possessions as we did this game, we need to keep on holding on to the ball. I don't know how we got it at the end of the second quarter to get those 7 points and then get it at the end of at the halftime. I applaud Kingsbury for even setting that up. But that was big time, and especially McLaurin catching that ball and like just doing man dirty.
Right over Banks.
That was a great route. Definitely a great route.
McLaurin is getting a highlight every game. He is.
He's gonna have to continue that, and I think he can. Look, their defense, they're actually top 10 in pass defense, but they're actually bottom 10 in rush defense. So they are susceptible to getting ran on if we're able to open up those holes. But honestly, I think with JD5 and B-Rob and Eckler and all that stuff, if they can dominate the line of scrimmage, I think that's going to be huge.
Right. I mean, it's going to be a coach's book on what we do, especially with the run game. If we, ground and pound the first half and just wear them down, then by the second half we keep on playing it or go back to it. I think we could. We've done that before. So if we can run down that defense just like that using all our running back weapons, I think so. Now, I just don't know about, Pittsburgh and how good their defense is going to be against us. Like, they always stop us at some point with our running game. And it's been the last couple because my sister has told me about it. So we'll see. We'll talk about it next week and stuff like that. So let's get into talking about our guys for next week and what we need to look forward to, because Washington has so many threats that we need to actually think about what weapons we can use, right? We have McLaurin, we have Ertz, we have Eckler, we have B-Rob. Who on the offense do you think should be getting that ball next week? Alex, who do you think?
Luke McCaffrey. And now I was saying, I would love to see Luke McCaffrey do his thing though, but I definitely B-Rob. I think they have a good defense, but you can run on this team. You can run on this team. But yeah, Brian Robinson, Austin Eckler, and I know Nichols. Everybody was liking Nichols, but man, I like Rodriguez better. I think Rodriguez, man, he really showed. He definitely helped us in this Giants game, man, opening up some holes, because Nichols and Austin Eckler going up the middle, they had somewhat success, but I think Rodriguez had way more. He looked real good. He definitely stepped up to the plate when his name was called. So I mean, because we had him on the practice squad, right? So.
Yes.
Yeah, man, but yeah, I think we need to solidify this run, man, and continue running down the throat. We gotta tire this defense out, and then Jaden Daniels with some play action, or however how Jaden Daniels and Cliff Kingsbury, how they do it. Heavy tempo, I think we're still struggling with that. Remember, we called another timeout today. Somebody wasn't in line. I don't know if y'all saw that. Did y'all see that?
It was tight end.
Yeah. I don't know. Again, young team, we're still trying to work things out. And I think, Cliff Kingsbury is trying to figure it out, or I don't know what's going on with that situation, but man, we could be vicious if we get that perfect. It's the small things, the little things that we need to clean up on. But other than that, man, I think this is going to be a good game. It's definitely going to be a good game. It could go either way.
I'll also double back and share, Sean. I thank you for sending me the info about the defensive rule, because they did it to us 2 or 3 times, and we had to hold for that ref waiting for their defensive players to get on. Mm-hmm. And if you noticed, JD actually paid attention. He was like, all right, fresh clock. Without a doubt, we never had got under 10 seconds. So he paid attention just as much as I was to that rule, to get a fresh clock instead of going down to 10 seconds when they were running to get their last person on the field. So it was like that change of like, okay, he's paying attention when the defense is getting on. The ref can't move until they get all their players. He noticed that and was already asking for a new shot or a new clock every time, so he could get more time on the field, pay attention to what they had, and actually use it to our advantage. So like things like that, where he's paying attention to more things on the field, is showing how much better he's looking at everything, paying attention to everything, seeing what defense is put in front of him. And I think you're right, Alex. The hurry up offense that we've been trying is helping. We've been doing it since the beginning of the year. Him, hurry up offense, no huddle. It's working. How do we keep on using that against this Pittsburgh team and using it to a benefit? Where do we ramp it up in helping us get better? Like, do we use it on this Pittsburgh team to get points on the board, or do we use it to take time off? What do you think, fellas?
Sean, what do you think, Sean?
I think it's all going to depend on if our O-line can dictate to their D-line. I mean, their defense has the ability to take over ball games. So, while I think there are some areas of weakness potentially, I definitely think we have to see how it goes. I mean, they're tied for 3rd in interceptions, so I'm not in a hurry to be pass happy. But the way that Cliff has that offense going, I definitely love keeping them on their heels, going no huddle, definitely going up tempo for sure. But as you saw, when we go up tempo, we still are seeming to have these penalties and these issues. So yeah, I definitely want to continue to go up tempo, but I think it's we're gonna see. I mean, these are a top tier defense, and to your friend's point, Alex, I think they very well could be undefeated. They lost by 3 points to the Colts, and then I think their only other loss was the loss to the Cowboys.
Yeah, Dallas.
So we definitely can't lose this because they'll say what they're gonna say.
Cowboys.
So that's interesting because we can then take what can we take from those losses? What can we take from those games and who was able to get those victories over them? But yeah, I agree. My opinion, I think it's going to be won and lost in the trenches. Gonna have to try to run and even neutralize and even run right at TJ Watt. He's more effective when you're running away from him, and he comes back and gets the stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And dude, I seen your boy Eckler take a shot today in the third quarter, stopping what's his name? That middle linebacker on New York. Goodness gracious, I haven't seen any of our running backs stop like a middle blitz like that. And watching him keep an eye on that and keeping Jaden like that much protected is remarkable to see. I will say Kingsbury is doing a great job with our running backs, making sure they keep an eye on that blitz pressure and helping out. So I think that'll be a good help with Eckler and B-Rob knowing how to pick up those extra linemen and helping Jaden just a little bit longer so he can, see what to do with the ball. And I don't know. I'm set on like having a passing game against these guys just because they have such a good front line, and TJ Watt being such a good defensive lineman. Like, do we have the lineman to stop him?
We can chip him with a tight end. We can put a tight end over there on that side because he'll be on Wiley. So Wiley's a veteran, but we could put a tight end over there. We can have the running back chip him and stuff like that. I mean, he's going to be somebody that I think is going to get. He's going to do what he does. You can only hope to really contain the guy. But there are ways to definitely chip and not leave our tackles on an island with the guy.
Right.
He is a game wrecker for sure.
Yeah. What player do y'all feel like is going to have the most impact for the Steelers? Because me, I think, I mean, obviously you have to think of TJ Watt, but for me, I think it's going to be Pickens. I think Pickens man, he's a dog, man. I mean, he's a dog. So we definitely going to have to be on our toes with this man because Russell, I feel like Russell has a better connection with Pickens than Justin Fields did. So,
is he how good is he? You think he's a top 10 receiver?
Yeah, sure, no question.
Without a doubt, and that's like the thing. Pickens is, if I can really say this, like he's probably a step higher than Neighbors, and just because Pickens is never still,
he better than Neighbors right now. I mean, Neighbors a rookie, but he better than Neighbors.
I'm not really worried about him. I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I mean, yeah, we've given up numbers. Chase went to town on us. Neighbors went to town on us. Marvin Harrison hit us up early,
right?
And we won all those games.
Mike Evans, same.
Who else? Yeah, Mike Evans. But think about the games that we lost. Mike Evans and Godwin and Kate Otten and those running backs in the Buccaneers game, and then in the game against the Ravens, it was Zay Flowers. It was
Zay Flowers.
Derrick Henry, the run game. You know what I mean? Like by the stats, you're right, 100%, man. Get rid of all of them, man, because by the stats, all the big name receivers are getting big name yards. Yes. But if you really think about it, if we allow them to give them their yards, the defense is still getting it done. So I think for us, when it comes to them, we're gonna have to. He might get his yards. He might do his thing. Najee and the tight end, Freiermuth, those two we're gonna have to get them. But I don't see really anybody else on that team that really scares me in the same way that I'm looking at like some of the other teams that we played that have had a big name receiver, and it's like, well, who else do you have?
I mean, other than Najee Harris, that's the only player I want to stop on that team. Like, it's not the fact of like stopping him completely. It's just get him distracted from either getting the ball on receives on when he's receiving it out on the flat and able to get those little op screen plays and get to the first down. As you know, as much as we can try and stop him on the run, that's going to be a detriment to them because once you stop that run, their QB can't go nowhere. So, you know, that's where I'm going to look up for my defensive front to be like, all right, we need to stop this dude before he really becomes an issue.
Yeah, and that's what we struggle with too. You know, we struggle with the stopping the run. You know, we talked about that. I mean, the Bears last week, Deuce Swift, man, he had over 100 yards on us. You know what I mean? This dude Tracy, again, I mean, I think, yeah. But it's just, man, that's another weakness. You know, that's another hole that we need to fix. So Najee Harris coming off this, man. I mean, he's on his last year of his contract, so he definitely wants to get that bag. So he's gonna do whatever he can. He's starting to look good. Starting to look real good.
I mean, he's gonna ask for the green light, I'm sure, because it's a non-conference game against us. But like, that's one of those things where, you know, even it's next week. Do you feel they're gonna keep Russell in there, or they're gonna put?
Of course.
I mean, honestly, if they could put Fields in to outrun our defense, he's gonna do that. But at that same point, that's still somebody with legs. So with Russell being that kind of quarterback, how do we stop him and Najee Harris, who are excellent runners?
We blitz. Because if we blitz, Russell's not – that's that 100% agree with you that Russell's not as – that Fields is a great runner.
Right,
and if he was in the game, it didn't show in when they went 4-2 with Fields, it didn't show in his passing. But the running, he was dominant in each of those games. And we've been susceptible to mobile quarterbacks for sure. So if Fields is in the game, yes. Russ is not – he's still crafty. He can get away, but I don't trust that line. And if we can blitz them and potentially keep Najee Harris in there so that he has to block, then I think we have an advantage on them where you're only throwing 2-3 receivers out on a play. You talked to us about it in the group chat, Anton, with the 1-2 point conversion where the Giants just threw out 2 wide receivers. Like, even we can shut that down. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you got to throw more out there than that. So if we can continue to get pressure on that quarterback and Russ and make him run around and make them have to bring in guys and kind of not fear, but, you know, just be worried about, okay, where are they coming from? That I think is going to be huge for us. If that will get them off their clock. They'll get them off, you know, their momentum and all that stuff.
Yeah, because Russ don't run as much as he did in Seattle, remember? So yeah, I mean, you're right, man. You're right.
Even then, he was more look downfield, and run if he has to, and that's the thing. People used to get all on me, man. Oh, Russ is gonna do this, Russ is gonna do that, because he came in the same year RG3 came in. And I was like, nah, man, Robert's that dude. He's gonna go. But the very thing that kept Russ in the game was the fact that he wasn't throwing it all out there every single play for a run. He just kind of kept in there. Now, it also helped that he had one of the best deep secondaries in the Legion of Boom. And he had Bobby on that team. Bobby Wagner was on that team. Wagner was on it. I mean, they had dogs all over the place.
And Marshawn Lynch helped him out big time.
Right. You know, so that they definitely had help. But so that's where I'm like, this year, I don't know if he has that many wide receivers. I know he's got Pickens.
I mean, he doesn't have more than 2 or 3 wide receivers he can really trust, right? And it's almost like a Daniels thing in the beginning of the year. He's just now getting back there on the field. He doesn't quite have the tempo of knowing every receiver. And, you know, anybody can cover that when you have only 2 receivers you can trust. So our defense, I feel there's going to be either an interception or a pick 6 at some point. We should. there should be double coverage across this dang on field if they're only going to have 3 wide receiver sets. You know, we should expect to have a turnover at some point just because we can protect it. At least we should. Now,
well, we gonna see. Yeah, because he still is a pro. He still is he still got that juice. I say that.
I mean,
he still got that juice.
but like I said,
Still
Pickens
got a little something in the tank.
He got a little something. He got a little something, man. He got something to make us say, "Oh my goodness."
Oh my, yeah.
I mean, I'll shut up if Pickens goes for 250 yards, but that man is so busy on the field. Like it's gonna be hard to contain him. So, you know, like I said, as much as we can contain their running back, if we can do that, I think it's just going to be a whole bunch of just wasted exhaustion of them on the field, and that, you know, will turn out to be probably helping us. What's your take, Alex? Anything you want to bring up into this game that you feel somebody needs to be watched out or looked at on our team?
Really, like a key player for us. Like, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, all our key players. Who do you think?
Sean, did he freeze? He froze?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, he back.
Okay. Okay, yeah. What you talking about? Like a key player?
Yeah.
Who's your key player to watch out this week?
On defense or offense?
Let's go offense.
Offense, Brian Robinson. Brian Robinson, for sure. Brian Robinson. Yeah, we need him back. He definitely helps out big time in the run. Okay. But yeah, defense, man, I would have to say, good question. I don't know. Probably, I would say Frankie. Frankie really didn't. I didn't hear too much of his name today. Yeah. He did get that offsides. He was trying to run in because, you know, he loved doing that. But I mean, he was still around football. He got a few tackles. But I definitely, man, I hope to hear his name more for sure, man. And get this defense hype. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, I want to see Frankie, man. I really love Frankie, man. He's a dog. But I will say that Jeremy Chin definitely stepped up in this game versus the Giants. So it's definitely good to see the way he's playing right now.
Yes.
Yeah. The way he's playing right now.
After Tampa, you said if it was tomorrow, I wouldn't resign his ass. Get his
ass. Well. Yeah, you're right. I might have bit my tongue on that one. But I will say that him when stopping the run, he's better. I feel like he's better in coverage than the run. I don't know about y'all, but I mean, he's a good tackler. Don't get me wrong. But when I saw Baker, it shook him up, and then, you know, but it comes with time, and then he's starting to definitely improve. So yeah, the way he's playing right now, he's definitely he's looking better than the boy I like, Quan Martin. And Quan Martin be all over the place too. You know what I mean? He tackles very well. But yeah, Jeremy Chin, man, he's definitely stepping up for us, man.
Yeah, I'll agree with you there because, you know, he does do a lot better with coverage than trying to stop run plays. Yes. You know, seeing him today, he definitely had better response to some of the calls. On my end, you know, I'm gonna still stick with Scary Terry. Like, that's my dude. I'm sorry, I do need to his jersey, but that's my guy.
Man. You gotta get it.
Hey, Porter and Terry, man, going against each other. That's gonna be a matchup to see right there.
It is, and I don't know whether or not you want to start him off early or, you know, James gonna throw him that long ball like in that first quarter. Like, all right, let's
right away.
That's what I'm
thinking. It's like an all-day fight. Let's go. But that's the big thing, man, because I mean, how many years have we had where Terry got 2 touchdowns in multiple weeks? You know what I mean? Terry, the one thing that I love about what this front office did is they have made a point to say Terry is our guy. He's going to be our guy. And as long as he produces, we are still with him. And he's eating. He's eating. So I want him to go up against that young corner. I'm excited for that.
I mean, and that's why I go with him, is just because he's proven himself every week. And then he's, like I said, he's risen the bar in that wide receiver squad with everybody being able to catch the ball, everybody playing off the ball and blocking for the running back, for anybody else. And it's so relieving to see him finally have a QB that he loves getting the ball from. Just absolutely seeing them doing their little dance in the end zone, like that's remarkable to see for Terry. Like 8 quarterbacks later, he's able to celebrate like he's on a winning team.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know whether or not to throw the long ball, but I want him to catch like 10 passes, 140 yards. Like, as much as I want to say it, them yak stats, Terry needs them so bad. Like,
yeah, I definitely want to see him have a 200-yard game one time out of his career, though, man. He's got it in him. He's got it in him.
Oh, yeah. Does. And I mean, he's got the hands. Like, he's just such a contortionist with his body, and catching that ball in midair. It's remarkable. Like,
it's great. It's great, but look, I'm not being Debbie Down. I don't think he's gonna get 200 in a game, and the reason being is Cliff is so daggone nice to everybody, man. You see Diami getting touches, Noah getting touches, everybody getting it. You know what I mean?
Like, I want him to do it against Dallas. Like, I want Quinn to be like, Kingsbury, do it.
Yeah, man, kill him, just kill him.
Yeah.
At this point, I feel like the meme with the guy with the stick touching it, because Dallas is dead. You saw their quarterback might be hurt. Dak might be hurt. CD's arm is at a socket.
His shoulder.
You know what I mean? So they might be dead on arrival, man. I feel bad if we taking candy from a baby now. I don't even feel bad. I don't even want to get on Janae tomorrow. I'm just gonna be like, it's okay. I know how you feel. I know how you feel.
You gonna treat it like a winged bird tomorrow, huh?
I'm gonna go create a GoFundMe for her. Sad Cowboys fans, they need any type of support they can get.
Hey. Well, I have said that throughout the years that Dallas, they won the battle, but they didn't win the war. And for some reason, I feel like it's time for them to go through the struggle like we did. Now it's time for us to let them watch us win games. Let us get into the playoffs and see what we can do. It's time for them to sit back. You know what I'm saying? And it's time for us to control that division versus them. You know what I mean?
Look, first and foremost, ain't no team in the division has won back-to-back division championship since
right.
None.
So I'm not believing in that. But what I will say is, if we talking about the overall war in history, I think they like 1 or 2.
Oh, they are. They are.
They got the 80s and 90s down pat.
As for right now.
Right. Well, I'm just saying, like, I think this is the beginning of the war that was about to start.
After 2000, we can start that war. Let's just say that after 2000.
Yeah, I'm with that.
Because pre 2000, it was like a Philadelphia Dallas kind of momentum for a long time.
The Giants too. Remember, because they had Eli. Remember?
Even before that. Well, if we go in the 80s, it was Giants in Washington. Dallas was Giants in Washington was 80s. We won in 92. Then Dallas. Philly ain't get Super Bowl good until 2000 when Andy Reid came over there.
Right.
But yeah, no, I will say it is time for us to come out of the darkness.
To see us get independent, for our team. It's a happy feeling to bring that money back to Washington.
Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you this, I don't want what Dallas has though. I don't want that at all. No. If 12-5 every year and getting kicked out of the playoffs.
Right, yeah, I don't want that.
I don't want any part of Dallas. No.
But I think that's the curse though.
Huh?
So I think that's the Dallas curse though. They
Dallas curse. It ain't the Dallas curse. It's they play for like Jerry Jones and them play for their fans, so their fans can say what they want to say. Because if he gives their fans something to cheer about, they gonna come and buy his merch, and he gonna keep getting rich. People think, oh man, what's going on with Jerry? Jerry don't care about no wins. He got 3 Super Bowl wins in his first 5 years. Jerry ain't worried about no Super Bowls. Jerry
Right.
worried about being a billionaire. He rubbing elbows with Trump and all them jokers, man. Jerry ain't worried about that daggone team.
Yeah.
That's why he calling into a radio show talking about, I can get you fired. I can get you fired. You know, he don't care about that. He making money.
I see it. I see it. So like that, just having our team be this good right now, and with little effort of basically all the teams doing it behind the scenes. We don't have a whole media output about, oh, the team's doing this, team's doing that. It's just the coaches are doing their coaching and it's showing out on the field. I can't do nothing but applaud them because this is a 53-man roster that half of them weren't even here last year. So how can we, not applaud them for doing such a good job of getting this team where it needs to be? This fan base has been waiting for a coach to come around and get a team to play under him. And here comes Dan Quinn doing it in, 5 games. Like, damn, people want to sacrifice their bodies for this coach. Like, okay, I like it.
Fair. They said that for Ron too.
Huh?
They said that for Ron Rivera too.
Well, I mean, that man got distracted with his health issues after.
He had a lot on his plate, and all
He
things were said.
did a lot. Yeah, he did a lot.
But I think I think it's you hit the nail on the head, Anton. I think the point is we did what we needed to do in the first 9 weeks.
Yes.
We got 7 big wins, regardless of who we played. We do, but now we got Pittsburgh, Philly. I know Dallas is hurt, but they always play up against us. Again, Atlanta, who just put it up on Dallas. Dallas again, and then I don't know what that Saints team is gonna look like, but Chase is gonna be hungry because he's playing us again. So we got about 6 or 7 games that could definitely pose a problem going down. So we'll see where we're at this season. But to your point, Anton, it's we've done what we're supposed to do, and that's good. What we're gonna do? We everything's in front of us.
Yeah, like having the games that we really needed to win, we are winning, and that really turns into the second half of the season. Like, okay, we do have lacks, but we're not going to be lax on these games. Like Philadelphia is going to be a tough battle, and they're Barkley and Hurts are going to give it to us. Like, we have no ifs, ands, or buts. But I think playing these 2 games, Pittsburgh and Baltimore before, having that close of a game and having Pittsburgh, we need to really put it in to know, all right, do we have it in as a team? Do we have that fourth quarter mentality to stay in it and push it in, to win the game? And I think it'll show in the overall when we do face Philadelphia, Dallas, when they have Parsons back, when they have, everybody on the team, how much better are they going to be showing out on the field to us? So
I also wonder, and I'm just curious. This is the second game that B-Rob missed this year.
Yes.
And I never hear really what the main issue is. Like, we'll go and look it up, and then they'll say it's this or it's that. But I don't know, and I'm not trying to be like
they saving it
or anything, but it's like, should we be worried about that long term? Like 2 games that he's been out, and it's kind of like,
I mean, they've been wrecking. They've been wrecking. So I feel like they're saving them up. Could be, if it's like, maybe B-Rock comes back to get this game. What if Eckler goes out? Now we've got all our weapons saved up for Philadelphia, which, it could be, that's where the coaching, we don't know what the coaching is because they're keeping it off the media problem. Like, they're really keeping a lot under wraps on how much they're putting towards next week. Just as much as they held out Jaden's knowledge of his ribs till Sunday morning. Like, everybody knew he was going to play. It was just, they just didn't want to tell nobody.
I didn't.
Yeah, I think when it came to Jaden, especially in that Bears game, we all could see that he didn't look 100%, but he was well enough to play. I think with B-Rob, they showed that he was active, but then they came back because I don't think he was 100%. And he even said on Twitter, I think, that I'll be back 100%. So I think it was just the fact of that, they just want him back 100, 110%. I guess I don't know, because he could have played. I mean, I saw that he was active, but then I guess
by the logic of sitting him and resting him, man, like it's I'll if that's what it is.
Yeah, I wish he would have
I
played.
like that. I'm fine with that. Like, if we got it's running back by committee, let's go.
Right.
And now in hindsight, like, I really kind of wish they would have sat him against Chicago. And obviously, you see that the Hail Mary and everything's great, but we all see he wasn't 100. Like, thank God he didn't get hurt again. But one game to prove his toughness to me isn't worth it, because I want him for 10 years. You know what I mean? Right. We did those things where I need to go out there and prove it to these people, and we got one good year at it. So,
I mean, I don't think if we had played Chicago that game, he would have probably sat out. It was only for them, for the network of draft pick 1, draft pick 2 to play that game.
Mm-hmm. And everybody, the media people, all wanted him to play in that game, and that's something that I was kind of like, nah, man.
Like, I would have been fine if they had set him out in the second half and let Mariota come back in just because of how we were playing, but we didn't. And I was like, Like, that would have been the game where you play 2 quarterbacks in one game, let him rest it out so that he has time to heal. He doesn't have to play all the effort of the game. But I just feel with him being in that full Chicago game, his name is in the top list of the Ory Awards this year. Like, he's going to get the Offensive Rookie of the Year award just to get into that hat. Just that much more is to let him play.
Right. Well, would B-Rob, was it his hamstring?
Probably was. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was his hamstring, and that, I guess you know how that is when you definitely re-injure your hamstring or whatever. Man, yeah. And you know how B-Rob runs, man. He runs hard, so I'm kind of glad he did sit out this game for sure, man. So,
well, and that's my point. I mean, we gotta remember this guy a couple of years ago was shot like 5 times when he got carjacked. So I mean, he's always gonna be dealing with something. So yeah, that's how I feel about both of them, because, like, for real, especially when you look back at that game, take away that Hail Mary, you look at how much we struggled early on in that game, and it's like the Bears weren't doing anything. You know, Mariota Mariota could at least come in and do a little something, just so we can keep our guy healthy. Because at this point, it's like, we are not the same without Jaden. We know that.
At 100%. Like, he was only 80% that game.
No, but I'm saying if he gets hurt and knocked out of the game, we're not the same team.
Yeah, you're right.
Defense will play up, because my defensive key player is Bobby Wagner. I think as long as we have him on that D, I'm very confident in that D, because he has those guys in line. And Joe Witt Jr. I think Joe Witt Jr. is just, the way he talks to those guys is phenomenal.
Right. I mean, they're doing a really damn good job. But like I said, like you say, Mariota did the one game that was phenomenal
against the Panthers. Yeah.
Panthers, yeah.
I mean, do we trust him to be that phenomenal again?
Not going. No. I was just saying for the Bears game, because the way they played, even he could have beat them. But that's hindsight. So
right, because the Bears game was like a pointless. You know what I mean? Like, if we would have win. If we lose, we lose. Because it wasn't a divisional game or whatever.
Right.
I think
playoff stuff.
I mean, but that's where I go back to it, is like, they wanted it for Jaden. This is for his awards, like, at the end of the year, not right now.
That's the thing that I don't want. I don't want us to sit here and have him go out here and chase 1-year awards. So we can be like, look, he was Rookie of the Year. You know who else was Rookie of the Year? Chase Young. And where is he now?
That's where I think it's like, no, we need the offense, one of our offensive guys to get this award, and that's where it's like, we should have let him sit out that one game.
Hey, MVP.
Oh, we're gonna be changing by like 2 weeks, bro.
Look, as long as
I could care less about that, man. I just want him healthy, man. Can we have a quarterback for 10 plus years? You know what I mean? That's what I'll take that over anything. You know what I mean?
Let's not have Madden go find him for next year, please. Just don't keep him away from the cover.
The Madden curse.
Because what was it? Didn't what's his name from Baltimore decline the case because he didn't want to get hurt or something with Henry? He didn't want to be on the front cover of the Madden because he knew the curse was coming.
Oh yeah, the Madden curse, man. That's what.
Yeah, the Madden curse. Yeah, the Madden curse. Yeah.
So that was him. But so let's go into this. We got our scoring predictions. Who wants to give out their scores first?
I think it's honestly gonna be. I think I want to say 28. I want to say like 30-28 or something like that. Okay. I think we take a close L. I think Chris Boswell kicks the game-winning field goal for them. I think we shut them down and hold them to field goals, but they get a lot of field goals. I think 30-28 Steelers.
Okay.
Oh, you got Steelers winning. Okay. I got 21. I got 21-24. 21-24. Yeah.
21-24. You got us or them?
Oh man, Sean, man. I know you put Steelers, man. Oh man.
Man. That's honestly, I'll put all wins on the division, man. I just want division games. These games.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah, I'm going. Man. I'm gonna go us, man. I'm gonna go us.
Okay. So I put down 35-27 because I thought it was going to really just be a scoring game. But in the end, I feel like somebody's going to go for 2 points. And I think Pittsburgh's going to try and do it at the end and not get it. And then they don't get the game because of that. So I was thinking it's going to come down to fourth quarter as like a full points game. No field goals, just points. So I put it at 35-27, knowing that Pittsburgh doesn't get it in the last 2 minutes.
Hey, the reason why I put us winning, home field advantage. Hopefully we get the bad Russell Wilson from the Broncos.
What happened last time we talked about getting a bad quarterback with Baker? Get the bad.
Right. That's what I'm saying. But yeah. So I mean, I hope we get the bad one. But I think with Najee Harris, I think this game we will stop the run. You know what I mean? I hope. But I think Najee Harris. I don't think he'll get over 100 on us in this game, which that'd be big for us. So, but yeah, just home field advantage, and I think we got the better quarterback. So.
I feel you on that, man.
We'll see. But Sean, what you said, bro, is definitely possible. I can see that.
Like, I don't doubt Pittsburgh could pull out this win, but I just think we have too many weapons for them and going to be able to put on the board. That's the only thing. Like I said, we've always had this talk of like, all right, our team has to put these points on the board before our defense can catch up. And, we've always had this issue of having to play catch up. It was Kirk Cousins' thing. It was, RG3 thing where we had to play catch up after being down two touchdowns, and then we have to score in the third and fourth quarter. So I just feel JD just needs to come out hot, ready to throw the ball to Terry, give me them 50 yards right out the jump, and it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Hey,
who's winning that? Who's winning that Lions and Green Bay game? Y'all know? Anybody know?
Not sure right now. We just got to out-scheme them, man. We got to out-scheme them up, man. Yo, so that year in 1996, where we started off 7-2, we ended up 9-7.
No. Oh shit! Damn, for real. Oh my goodness.
Last time we were 6-2 was when we had Alex Smith.
Yeah, I remember that.
Broke his leg.
Yeah, I remember that.
Wow, that was what, game 8? He broke his leg.
Game nine, because we were 6-2 coming out that jump, and then we played the Texans.
Just Texans,
Bro,
yeah.
Texas, JJ. Yeah, I remember.
So yeah, we gotta get better than 8-2 or 7-2, right?
It's 24-6 if you want to know the game score.
For who?
Who? Lions?
Oh, yeah. Play that team right now.
Detroit Knights.
That's one team I probably say I don't want to ever face. Like, when we ever get to the playoffs or whatever, I don't want to face them first.
I think if we played them this year, they going. Because the last time when we played Seattle that one year with RG3, they went on to win the Super Bowl. No. Yeah, it was Seattle, but
Seattle.
No, they didn't win that year. It was Baltimore that won that year. 2012, that's when the Ravens beat
2012, Baltimore beat the 49ers.
That's when the Ravens beat the 49ers. But I think it was 2013 that Seattle won.
Seattle won, the next year, yeah.
But yeah, now we
I remember, dog. I remember that was crazy.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Washington Roundtable Football. Or dang it, I can't never get it right. Washington Football Roundtable. Excuse me, gentlemen. I'm gonna get this right next week. But I thank you guys. It was a good discussion. It was a great discussion, actually, because that was pretty good talk. So we're gonna have your boy next week, correct, Alex?
Yeah. Got a Steelers fan. He'll definitely talk to us. He'll be decked up in his Steelers jersey or whatever. So I gotta put my jersey on. But yeah. Hey, we gotta talk that shit to him. We gotta talk that shit to him.
We're gonna wear it. We're gonna all wear our gear. So we're gonna holler at y'all fans next week, and we're gonna come back and talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. As for now, so long.
Gentlemen, football is back. Where's y'all head at right now? How y'all feeling? More sport. Anton Vincent. What up, Anton?
Let's go.
And you see this guy, 85's personal agent and his #1 fan. All right, Pro Crew Sports host. Alex Stevens. Alex, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, brother? I'm so happy today.
Here comes